Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. It is that time of year again when we are starting to get back to school, and for a lot of us, I think it's happening a little bit sooner than usual. And right now is the perfect time to get ready for that school year. I personally believe that setting yourself up for a school year will make it so much better. You will be more successful, you'll be happier, you'll be more organized and prepared in every way possible, whatever way you need. So today I will talk about some of the ways you can prepare for that perfect school year. And these are just based on my own experiences, based on the things that I like to do and things that have worked for me. So hopefully you can tweak it to match whatever you want out of this school year. So these are the things that you should do to prepare for a new school year. The first thing that you should do is declutter all of the physical stuff in your life. First, sit down and make a checklist of exactly what you want to declutter. One of the things that I would suggest would be your school stuff from last year or even before that, depending on when you actually decluttered last. So definitely declutter all of your papers, your binders, your old notes. Don't be afraid to throw them out or recycle them. And then the school supplies that are still in good condition, don't throw those out. Just keep them and use them again next year. In addition to that, declutter your desk, all the drawers, anything in your room. Make sure you declutter your bag, whether it's a backpack or like a purse, declutter those. And also do declutter your clothing. Make sure you set aside like a whole day and I like to use the KonMari method, so you could definitely watch videos on that and learn what that's all about, but definitely declutter your clothes. You don't want to be going into a new school year full of old things that don't mean anything to you. If they're old and they have meaning and you still use them, that's fine. I just mean you don't want to be going into the new school year with things that just clutter your life and make it messy and clutter up your mind. Clear space, clear mind, at least for me. Especially if you are going into your first year of college, get rid of all of your high school things. Don't hang on to them just because, it's high school. Like, of course, listen to yourself and do what you think is best, but I just think that, college is a fresh start. You don't want to be bringing in all of this old energy with you. One of the things that I am doing right now to clear out my high school stuff is taking all of the t-shirts and sweatshirts from all of the clubs and sports I did, which obviously those have meaning, so I don't want to throw them away or give them away. So I'm turning them into a quilt. I'm just ordering it online. And this is a really good way to keep those things for memories, but it'll take up so much less space because you're cutting off all the extra fabric and everything will be all in one spot. So just go through all the different areas of your life and declutter as needed. I might do an in-depth version on this later, maybe, if you guys want. Number 2, in addition to the physical decluttering, make sure you do a digital declutter as well. This is so important, especially now that all of our things are online. Our school notes might be online as well. It's so important to have a clear digital space. Once again, make a checklist of the things that you do want to declutter. Some of the things that I would recommend would be your downloads folder, all the different files, your Google Drive. This might take a while, but try going through some of your old photos, at least from this past month. And one of my favorites, declutter your inbox. Try to reach inbox 0. It is such a good feeling, especially if you have a ton of emails and the important ones get lost with the spam. I like using a tool called unroll.me. I'll link it in the description. Basically, it just finds all of the subscriptions in your email. You can unsubscribe from them with just one click. It's super easy. And the ones that you do want to receive, like the promotional ones, you can put it all in a roll-up, which will be delivered to your inbox once a day with all of the emails that are promotional, or just all of the emails that you choose. And then the emails that you still want to get in your actual inbox, you could still do that as well. And it is free, and it's been working quite well for me for quite some time, so I highly recommend it. All right, the third thing that you should do is, while you're doing all this digital decluttering, is to set up all of your digital files for the school year. So by that I mean go through your Google Classroom or Canvas or whatever your school uses. Make sure you get rid of all of the classes that you're no longer enrolled in. You can archive them or just leave the class, and set up the classes for this coming year. So my school uses Canvas. Once I get enrolled, it'll show up in my little dashboard, and what I like to do is changing the names from all of those numbers and symbols into something that's easier for me to read, and then I also color code all of my classes, so I will change the colors. In addition, if you use Google Drive or if you use any other system like that for all your files, set that up now. So I like to separate everything into the school year. So each school year will be a folder, and then in that I'll have a folder for each of my classes. Once again, I'll color code those, and this way, once the school year starts, I won't have to worry about that. I could just start dragging all the files into the right folders, and then they'll never get lost. They'll always be really easy to find. As your teachers start uploading files or their syllabus, also drag those in and make sure you read them ahead of time. And make sure you take this time to set up your calendar. If you don't already use a calendar, you probably should get one because it's super useful, at least if you're busy and if you do stuff. I like to use Google Calendar, and I like to separate mine into different calendars. So I have a calendar for classes, I have a calendar for all my extracurriculars, I have a calendar for work, and I also like to do calendars for other things that are like optional. So then I'll unclick them. Let me try to explain this. So basically, for example, I like going ice skating. So I will input all of the times when public skate is an option into the calendar. And then I'll usually have it unclicked. But if I'm bored, if I don't have anything to do, I'll open that calendar and see if there's anything going on at that time, and then I'll go. And this is just nice so that you don't have to go onto their website and try to find what time something is available. So I do this with a lot of like optional fun activities, different events on campus, fitness classes, ice skating, public sessions. I don't know how many of those are still going to be a thing for this semester, but that's just what I used to do in the past. My fourth tip is to write down your goals. I might do a separate video on how I like to set my own goals, but I'm just going to give you a couple of ideas of the kinds of goals you can set. I recommend writing them down, maybe writing down a goal and then how to reach it. Maybe if the goal has certain milestones, you could write milestones and dates for when you want to accomplish the milestone, but it all depends on the goals. Some goals are very hard to quantify, some goals are very abstract. So these are the kinds of goals that I would recommend for you to write down. Write down your academic goals, your financial goals. You could write down your fitness goals, your social goals. Maybe you want to be a little bit more outgoing, for example, as well as any personal goals, whatever that might mean for you, maybe habits, maybe meditating or something like that. Maybe you want to get better at skincare, taking care of your skin, whatever you want, just write down those goals, however you like to do that, and that will help you stay on track and keep it somewhere where you can see it throughout the school year, just so that you always know exactly what you want. Under this sort of umbrella, also a good thing to do would be to write down your ideal routines. Include those goals that you want to achieve in those routines. So say you want to exercise every day, write down your ideal routine and make sure you write down what time of day you want to exercise. So when I'm planning out my ideal daily routine, I will make sure that I include working out sometime in the morning, and then in the evening, for example, I want to give myself enough time to read before bed and to turn off my phone like at least an hour before heading to sleep. And I want to make sure that I'm going to bed on time. Speaking of that, my next tip is to fix your sleep schedule now. You need to do this now, a couple of weeks before school starts. There are different ways you can do this. I might do a separate video on this as well. I don't want to go into depth too much about this, especially because I haven't done a ton of research on it yet. I will say I do have a super amazing, like awesome trick about how you can wake up early, and it worked for me, and I think I might share that in a separate video, so stay tuned. But definitely do this now because it'll take your body at least a week or two to get used to it. I know that my sleep schedule isn't the best right now. My next tip is to take care of some important business right now. So, get all your doctor's appointments in, change your job availability, make sure you have all of the documents that you need for your college or school submitted, all of that good stuff. Do that now. I honestly probably should have included this a little bit higher on the list, but this is okay. Now, onto the more fun stuff. You should definitely go shopping. This could be fun or stressful depending on how you look at it, but make sure you get your school supplies shopping done, your dorm supplies shopping done, and if you want, get your clothing shopping done as well. It's definitely better to do this now before all the craziness of school rolls in, just so that you're prepared for anything that'll happen. You don't want to be that person that comes into school without a pencil on the first day. The next thing you should do is change something in your life. This is optional, but I find that a physical refresh will help with the mental one. So this might mean, trying a new hairstyle or a hair color, or maybe going a little bit outside of the box with your fashion choices, changing up your style a bit, changing up the layout of your room, whatever you want. It could be big or small, but I find that doing something like that helps boost the mental refresh, and for me anyway, it kind of always gets me a little bit more excited for something new. Speaking of being excited, get pumped for this school year. If you're not feeling excited for whatever reason, do things that will make you excited. So for me, that means watching back to school videos, especially like the old nostalgic ones. Like, does anyone still remember Back to School with Beth? Like, that was my thing in middle school. You could also watch, maybe high school movies like High School Musical, things like that usually always get me excited. And if you're still not feeling pumped, write down a list of the things that you're looking forward to. Just, if you're having a hard time, just really dig deep, Maybe you're excited to see your friends, maybe you're excited to get out of the house. It could be anything, but if you really need to, just write down that list and it'll help you a lot. And finally, my last tip is to relax and refresh. This is your last opportunity to really have all the time to yourself, maybe. So do something that will help you to relax. So especially if you're feeling really stressed right now, do something to relax. And I know for me anyway, it feels like I've been relaxing all summer. I've been doing nothing, but at the same time, it hasn't been like a satisfying relaxation. I've sort of just been a bum, like a couch potato, which isn't a fun way to relax. I think doing something like taking a bath, using like a bath bomb, just something to make it feel extra special, that could be really fun. Whatever relaxing and refreshing means to you, do that. Okay guys, that's all of my tips that I have for you for preparing for a new school year. I hope that you found it useful. If you have any tips for me or for anyone else, please leave them in the comments because I would love to know. Stay tuned for some other college-related videos that will be coming out soon. I've been sort of mentioning them throughout the whole video. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!